Breakdown is presented by John's Sewer and Drain Cleaning, the name to know when the drains don't flow.
It's the Zappe Hour here on The Breakdown. Phil Perry here. Ted Johnson there. Ted, plenty to discuss when it comes to this Patriots offense. Were you surprised by Bailey Zappe's first half the other night against Pittsburgh? Because I certainly was.
You know, I wasn't as surprised as maybe some people would think, because I thought what he did the week before was pretty good in that performance. Even though 0 points were scored, I liked the balls, those deep balls were a lot of catchable deep balls. I thought the same thing in this game. And I just like his poise and his comfortability in the pocket. So I wasn't as surprised by this performance as maybe some people were, Phil.
Accurate down the field to Juju Smith-Schuster early in the game. Hunter Henry, a couple big plays to him as well. We will get to those. But first, let's talk a little bit more about Bailey Zappe, specifically first 30 minutes against the Steelers. Arguably the best half of offensive football the Patriots have had all season. In the first half against the Steelers, the Patriots scored 8 more points than they had over the last 3 games combined. They completed more deep passes than Mac Jones had over nearly 2 months of the season. It was just the second time all year the Patriots had 3 passing touchdowns in a game, and they scored an opening drive touchdown. Get this, for the first time in 2023, the man of the hour, of course, it's Bailey Zappe.
It's awesome. Things haven't really been, falling our way, but, to go out there and play good team football. We had a great first half. There's things that we're going to clean up in the second half that we didn't do very well, personally me. But it's great to win, and it's a great feeling.
I just saw a very confident quarterback, someone out there just having fun being himself and just zipping it around, and making the best opportunities.
Yeah, obviously. We're able to execute at a higher level than we have been and score some points. So that was definitely huge for us. But starting fast was big, kind of gave us some confidence, and we're able to take advantage of some things early in the first half.
It's time now for More Games, brought to you by John Sewer and Drain Cleaning, the name to know when the drains don't flow. Ted, you heard from Hunter Henry right there. Big night for the tight end on Thursday night in this win over the Steelers. We're going to break down his first of 2 scores here. And you've got code breaker written at the top of the board. Tell us why.
Yeah, Phil, because the Patriots did a good job of kind of knowing what the Pittsburgh Steelers defense was going to be in. They were going to be in man-to-man. They were going to use their linebackers to cover the running back out of the backfield on this play. All right, and so the Patriots knew that, and so they ran plays to exploit what the defense was, what they anticipated the defense being in, thus breaking the code. All right, so earlier in the game, they had Ezekiel Elliott touchdown. Going to this 2-man week, okay, the Patriots had 3 receivers to the left on this Hunter Henry touchdown. The touchdown before, when Zeke Elliott got a touchdown, they did the same thing. Trips left, 2-man week. They wanted to exploit the linebacker and the cornerback in coverage on the backside, okay? So on this touchdown play, they do a 3-man route combination on this side. It's not really important. Let's focus on this side. The 2-man formation. The Patriots did a good job, really, of game planning for this defense by putting Zeke Elliott, as opposed to putting him next to the quarterback here. Usually he's inside, kind of where the guard is. They had Zeke split out a little bit wider, almost kind of directly behind the tackle, so that he was getting free releases to the flat all game long, okay? On this play, they did the same thing. All right, this linebacker has Zeke Elliott man-to-man. The cornerback has Hunter Henry man-to-man on this play. At the snap of the ball, again, by the alignment, that's a tip for this linebacker. This split right here between the quarterback and the running back should tip to him that he's going free release. Boom. He's out in the coverage fast. All right, Hunter Henry. This linebacker has to decide when Hunter Henry starts his route, okay, do I get my coverage underneath him or do I go over the top? All right, and that's the read for this quarterback, Bailey Zappe. If the linebacker goes over the top to get his coverage on this fast release, what does that do? That makes the read easier for the quarterback. It opens up all this space because the safety is pulled over to the trip side, all right? And so there's no safety over here. And when the linebacker goes over the top to get his coverage, that opens up this lane right here. The cornerback is outside leverage, and you see Hunter Henry do a great job of kind of stepping in to get the cornerback to jump out a little bit, and then he comes it back in right here, and it makes this slim post, wide open. The safeties gets there, but it's a little bit late. This corner's there. They bracket him. This linebacker going over the top opens up that big space, and so really good job of the Patriots game planning, knowing what the Steelers were going to be in, and then making the read simple for the quarterback when the linebacker goes over the top. opens up this huge lane, easy throw right there. So nice job game planning, nice job execution, nice job Hunter Henry. And a nice throwing to the uprights in the back of the end zone. That's what the quarterback's doing, is throw to the uprights so you can avoid the safety right here and the cornerback bracket here.
Nice job by Bailey Zappe. They coached that all training camp long, high to the back of the end zone. So if it goes incomplete, it's out of bounds. It's not going to get tipped and picked. Hunter Henry, meanwhile, 4th in the NFL among tight ends with touchdowns and 9th in the NFL among tight ends in terms of quarterback rating when targeted, quietly having a really good season despite all the Patriots' struggles on the offensive side. One of the other key contributors to the Patriots' passing game on Thursday night was their top rusher, Ezekiel Elliott. With Ramondre Stevenson out, Zeke was a focal point of the offense, including 72 receiving yards, tied for the 5th most in 122 career games for Zeke. Every other time, he went for at least 72 yards, more than 5 years ago. That brings us to Ted Neek, which is presented by Shaw's, which is, of course, perfecting the art of fresh. And Ted is going to detail a tendency that the Steelers' defense showed that the Patriots are able to take advantage of on that Hunter Henry touchdown that we just showed you, as well as Zeke's touchdown early in the game. We got Tom Giles, Trenny Casey with us now to help us illustrate this tendency breaker that the Patriots had ready to go on Thursday.
Yeah, so the Patriots knew that they could get some yards with their running back, because historically the Patriots have exploited the Steelers defense with their running backs out of the backfield. And so Zeke, who had a great game, very much a pro type of game here. What we're going to do is, so on this Hunter Henry touchdown, okay, Phil's going to play Hunter Henry on this. We just showed you the touchdown on board games. All right, what they were doing with Ezekiel Elliott is they were moving his alignment. So if Zeke he's offset right with the quarterback to his left side, usually the running back is kind of lined up over the guard in this typical formation to pick up blitzes in the A-gap and that kind of thing. But they wanted to get him out into the flat fast. They weren't going to keep him in for blitz. They were going to free release him. And so they cheated him out a little bit, almost over to where the tackle was. And so that should be a tip to the defense that maybe he was going to go fast to the flat. All right, Trini, I can see that she is ready. On this play, so they did a lot of 2 receivers weak to exploit their coverage and them messing up, all right? And so on the Hunter Henry play, instead of the defender going under this pick route by Hunter Henry, the linebacker goes over the top, opening up the lane for Hunter Henry. So let's run through it, you guys. Here we go. So he cheats out his alignment a little bit. Set, hike. Okay, once this defender goes over the top, the quarterback sees, oh, there's a lane opening up, because now this defender is coming to guard Zeke Elliott. That opens up the lane right there. The safety's on the other side covering the trips, and so it makes that throw for the quarterback a lot easier with that space there, okay?
So let's show what happened on the Zeke Elliott touchdown now, Ted, because it was the same thing, but the Steelers played it a little bit differently, and Bailey Zappe heard him on it.
That's exactly right. And so earlier in the game, Zeke Elliott got a touchdown because the Steelers played it this other way, and they were able to exploit it. So let's show them what they did on the Zeke Elliott touchdown. All right, Zeke's cheated out a little bit to get the fast release. Again, you got Hunter Henry on this side. 2-man game. They're going to be in man-to-man in the red zone, just like the Steelers always are. So the Patriots are going to exploit that. All right, here we go. Set, hut. So the defender comes underneath that, and by coming underneath that, it gets Zeke Elliott out to the flat fast. He's able to turn his shoulders, catch the ball, turn it up. That defender's behind him. He can't catch him, and he hits his head on the goalpost. That little cat and mouse the Patriots played with the Steelers defense, they've been doing that a long time with their running backs and tight end. They exploited them in this game.
And you have to be smart to be able to exploit them in that fashion, because Hunter Henry, for instance, on that pick play, he can't just go in and bowl over Trenny Casey. That's going to be a flag.
Right.
He has to do it in a subtle manner to get in the way, but not pick up that penalty. Trenny Casey, Tom Giles, thanks so much. You're going to see these guys in just a few minutes. 6:30, our Bella Early Edition with Trenny is coming up, and you're going to want to stick around and make sure you're hearing all of Trenny's takes, Giles' takes. I'll be there. We're going to have a ton of fun. We're going to talk about where the Patriots stand after their win over the Steelers. Up next, well, we had to wait a while to see something from the Patriots offense. The defense once again did its job. We're switching over to the other side of the ball when the breakdown returns. Jabrill Peppers had some interesting comments after the Patriots win Thursday night. Quote, he says, "We needed it. I just feel good we could get it done for Bill and the rest of the coaches. I don't really like all the flack he's been getting because it's on us as players to go out and execute. I personally feel like the game plan has been phenomenal week in and week out. And when we had opportunities to make plays, we didn't make them, but we made enough tonight. Welcome back to the breakdown here. Phil Perry, Ted Johnson. Ted, do you feel as though maybe Patriots players, as Peppers is indicating right there, are more bought in on Bill Belichick, the head coach, than their record at 3-10 would indicate?
I think so. I think so. I mean, so that really kind of focuses on how bad just the roster is. But I think particularly the defense. I mean, the defensive guys, they love Bill. Bill, I think, is more involved in the defense. You can just see Belichick having the back of the defensive players more than the offensive guys. And so if there's going to say what unit is more bought in, it's certainly the defense, Phil.
Those guys have come to play every single week, and Peppers especially has come to play every single week. He certainly did his part to help the Patriots to their upset win the other night. Even though the Patriots led for most of the first quarter, the analytics said the Patriots didn't truly take control of the game until Peppers intercepted Mitch Trubisky early in the second quarter. That INT turned the Pats from slight underdogs to favorites, and they remained so until the final whistle. For more on Peppers' pick, let's head back to the drawing board. We're back out here for Board Games, brought to you by John Sewer and Drain Cleaning, the name to know when the drains don't flow. Ted, a lot of talk about the Patriots offense after Thursday, rightfully so, but we're going to talk a little defense here. You've got Art of Deception written at the top of the board. This is going to be that critical Jabrill Peppers pick that leads to a touchdown here. Break this one down for us.
Yeah, so Art of Deception. The Patriots do a good job of kind of deceiving the Steelers here, okay, and they do this against a lot of teams, but showing, a rush, one rush and then doing something different, and showing one coverage and doing something different. So they disguise the rush, they disguise their coverage. That's what makes this play such a good play, and the Patriots like to do some pretty radical stuff, particularly against quarterbacks like a Mitch Trubisky, where they know they can get them fooled, okay? So it's 3rd and 10 for the Steelers. They run all verticals, 4 vertical routes on the outside right here. Okay, the Patriots, if I was to ask you, Phil, you're the quarterback for the Steelers, and you're looking at this front, and you're trying to figure out how many guys you think are going to rush the quarterback. What would you say?
I'm seeing 3 big people, so my guess is 3.
So he's probably thinking, it's 3 guys. Barmore, Keon White, and Josh Uche. Those are the 3 down linemen. Those are the guys you usually run. That's not the case. So they look like it's a 3-man rush, and what they do is they do an overload rush. So it's not a blitz. A blitz is 5 or more rushers. They rush just 4 guys, but they overload it, and they bring guys from the secondary as part of the rush, okay? And then they bring these guys over here. So it's a 1, 2, 3, 4-man rush, not a blitz, but it's an overload rush, and they get pressure on the quarterback by doing that. So it's a really good disguise, thinking it's a 3-man, and they turn it into overload rush, okay? Their coverage. If I was to ask you as a quarterback, what coverage does this look like pre-snap?
You're putting me through the ringer here, Ted, but I'm going to say cover 3. Free safety in the middle, a couple corners off the line of scrimmage, cover 3, no?
Exactly right. So pre-snap, it looks like cover 3 with Jalen Mills in the deep part of the field, the cornerbacks in opposition. At the snap of the ball, though, when these guys 4-man rush on the snap of the ball, they drop to cover 2, Tampa 2. All right, Jabrill Peppers, half field. Jalen Mills, half field. Mac Wilson, curl flat. He has to go all the way to curl flat. My man right here.
Juwan Bentley,
middle of the field. For Tampa 2 safety, he's got to cover the middle of the field. So it's Tampa 2, boom, 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 boom. And right here, you have Josh Uche has to do a good job in cover 2 as the curl flat defender, always rerouting number 2. So push this guy out. And he does perfectly, pushes him out closer to the coverage here on Jabrill Peppers. My man, Mitch Trubisky, he feels pressure from the left side. He makes a terrible throw. He throws it right into this, what they call the hole area of cover 2, trying to get it over the linebacker in front of the safety. He does not do that. Jabrill Peppers makes a great play on this ball, trying to make a throw to the tight end, and returns it back to the 10-yard line. Great job of disguising the front, disguising the coverage, and then at the snap of the ball, going to something completely different, keeping him, fooling him, putting pressure under him. And that was kind of the name of the game for the Patriots defense. Really doing a good job disguising their fronts and their coverages to keep the offense at bay.
Another big play for Jabrill Peppers. Feels like he comes up with one just about every single week.
He's having a great year.
And as the Patriots, Ted, think about rebuilding for 2024 and beyond, I would think, based on everything he's done for them this year, arguably their best player, you'd want to keep that guy around. All right, it's time for my report card, which is presented by the Massachusetts School of Law. Peppers and the rest of the secondary, they earned a B+ from me, but the part of the defense that really shined Thursday night, that front seven. Oh boy, both the D-line and the linebacking core get an A- for their work in Pittsburgh, especially the work they did holding the Steelers back in the run game. Unbelievable numbers. 2.9 yards allowed on Thursday night, Ted. 3.2 yards allowed per carry for the season. That brings us to our technique here, which is presented by Shaw's, perfecting the art of fresh. And you're going to ragdoll me the way the Patriots ragdolled the Steelers' offensive line, aren't you?
Yes, I am. And this is my favorite thing to do for technique. Two gap. I wanted to show you folks, what two gapping is. This was I basically came out of my mother's womb, developed, designed to play a two gap linebacker in the NFL. Okay, and so this is Anthony Jennings. Anthony Jennings, and really all the defensive linemen for the Patriots, Godchow, Barmore, Guy
looked pretty good the other night. I thought.
They're all doing a great job of this two gap technique. But Anthony Jennings, 3 tackles for a loss, Phil. And really good job of setting the edge. And so if you can make sure you set the edge as a Patriots defense and not give them easy yards on the outside, then you're really doing your job. But Anthony Jennings, let's just show the folks at home what Anthony Jennings did on a couple plays. But one play in particular, he was up against a tight end for the Pittsburgh Steelers, a big boy, 6'7", 280.
Darnell Washington, yeah, right out of Georgia. He's a rookie, but he's 6'7", 265, huge. 270.
Yep. And so if you're going up, you're a smaller linebacker, you're up against guys like that, you got to get low and you got to have good technique and you got to fight for this piece of the chest plate right there, okay? It's whoever gets to that chest plate first usually wins. So on this play, Anthony Jennings is playing outside linebacker. He's got to make sure that nothing gets outside of him, but he doesn't want to run upfield either and create a lot of space. So you got to be strong at the point of attack and be able to engage, two gap, and then wait for the running back to declare which way he's going before you come off and make the play.
All right, so
Phil, you ready?
6'7", 270, Darnell Washington.
That's it, buddy. All right, so Anthony Jennings out here on the outside in a 2-point stance at the snap of the ball, set hut. He tries to reach him. On this side, and what Anthony Jennings does a great job of doing is getting his hands in here, getting control of the chest plate, controlling him right here, and then making sure he has the outside covered if he goes outside. But what he did is he two gap, push, build a wall, don't jump off and declare too fast. Wait till the running back to declare. Once he goes inside, boom, you throw the guy inside, come up and make the tackle. Anthony Jennings did a great job at the point of attack, being strong in his chest plate, controlling that part, being able to go to the right or to the left. And also, while keeping contained, he did that great all game. He's really done a great job of that all season long, Phil.
Ted, you were born to two gap. I think you could still do it. That's just me, just from my experience. And you're right, Anthony Jennings, we talk about Mike Onwenu, Kyle Duggar, maybe even Josh Uche, all these 2020 draft picks that are hitting free agency. Anthony Jennings, he is looking for his next job as well. I think he's probably made his money.
He's making a case for himself, and Bill Belichick has really been high on him this year.
He's made some money this season for sure. Great job by you, Ted. I'll be recovering for the next
Get some ice on that.
Tuesday, 6 o'clock. Tune in for Quick Slants. Tommy Curran shares his takes on the Patriots as they get ready to host the Chiefs. It's presented by your local New England Honda dealers. Still to come, we're going back where we started. Zappe Hour ain't over just yet, friends. Breaking out the Monday Night Spotlight for another round on the Pats QB when the breakdown returns. So as good as Bailey Zappe was in the first half with 3 touchdowns and a passer rating of 136 against the Steelers, he wasn't so sharp after halftime in Pittsburgh. And that's been who Zappe really has been this year. Takeaway is huge first half against the Steelers, and he's barely completing 50% of his passes, including 3 picks. That passer rating of 48, pretty ugly. That brings us to our Monday Night Spotlight, which is presented by TouchView interactive display panels available at the Oakers Company. Ted, do you think Bailey Zappe can somehow find whatever rhythm he was in the first half against the Steelers this coming weekend against the Chiefs? And an excellent defense. Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, those guys get all the attention, but the Chiefs' defense has been one of the best in the NFL this year.
Yeah, look, you have a whole week to prepare, right? He had a short week last week and had a really good game. So I think he's capable of kind of putting together another good effort. I'm more of a believer in Zappe than most, and mostly because of his poise, and he's got superior confidence in himself.
When it comes to that confidence, this is a good segue now. Mm-hmm. Do you feel as though Zappe, who he is, and the confident player that he is, and the skill set that he brings to the table, if he can somehow continue the positive results that we've seen of late from him, is he worth bringing back next year? Do you want him as the number 2? Do you want him even maybe starting if the Patriots, for instance, draft a young quarterback and they need someone as sort of a quote-unquote bridge player at that position? Are you that confident in Bailey Zappe?
Oh, I think Bailey Zappe's got some bridginess to him. I think he's a little bridgy player. Yeah, I like that. I don't want Bailey Zappe here, though, Phil, if Mac Jones is here. I don't think that relationship, that partnership is good. I don't think it's just it's a positive, synergetic type of relationship. And so if Bailey's going to be here, I don't think Mac should be here. But I'll tell you this, if you go out and you draft a guy, all right, or you bring a veteran in, I think Bailey Zappe can be a serviceable, bridgy-type quarterback for you to start next season.
See, I like him in the bring a veteran in scenario, and then maybe just have those two guys duke it out. With a young quarterback in Bailey Zappe, who's still young himself and who wants to play, Ted, it would worry me a little bit that he's not necessarily comfortable being the clipboard holder or the caddy for that young, maybe highly drafted quarterback.
And that's the problem. So it's knowing your role, knowing kind of where that you fit in things. I like his moxie in that he thinks he should be the starter, but if they go out and draft a guy in the top 3 or 5, he's clearly the backup, and he's got to know his role. Phil.
Plenty of time to discuss all that. In the meantime, we'll be right back here next Monday talking Patriots Chiefs. For now, stick around. We got early edition. It's coming up.